So we are about to make a set of traction bars. So these are sheet metal traction bars. Got all my parts cut up off the table. I am loving my machine. I've had this thing for 6 or 7 years now, and I know a lot of guys that have issues with their tables. This one, STV CNC, this thing's done nothing but good for me, and I've had 0 issues with it, so super blessed with that thing. It's keeping everything rolling in here. But yeah, let's get these parts cleaned up. I just use a wire wheel. This stuff opens up real nice, and then we're gonna get them all welded up, so let's get after it. So now that everything's cleaned up, we just clamp this 1.5 inch aluminum stock in between, and then what we do is we gotta square that up. But then anyway, you just start from one end and just tack your way down. That way it's all tacked together, squared up, and you flip it, put the other side on it, and then it's ready to weld out. So we're gonna go ahead and do that real quick, and then get these welded out. Alrighty, so now that they're all tacked up, we're gonna weld them out, and you can't just go ahead and weld down one side, flip it, weld the other one. It'd be awesome if you could, but metal likes to warp, and the heat pulls it in different ways. So I tend to weld this, like I'll weld this one, every other, down the whole thing, and then I'll rotate it and I'll weld every other, and just kind of bounce the heat around. That way if it pulls this way, it'll pull back the other way, kind of even it out. There's a magic to it. You just kind of work with it, and as you work with it, you kind of figure out how to do it. So anyways, if we were to weld down one side, it'd end up all zigzagged, so we don't want that. So it takes a little bit of time, but I'll weld this one out, every other, jump to this one, weld every other, and then I'll circle back to this one after we let it cool off a little bit, because why not? You got 2 to weld, so bounce the heat around, let this one cool down a little bit while you're welding this one. So it tends to keep them all very straight, and that's what we want. So let's go ahead and get after it. Now that we got these all welded up, it's time to get the rear bushing mount on there. So we just chamfer that just a little bit to give a little extra weld in there. We'll slide that in there, weld it all around, do the same on both, and then we will get the front joint bungs welded onto the front end, and then these are done and ready to start working on the axle mounts. So those are right there. So the final step is getting these bungs welded in. I just weld them to this little plate. It has a hole cut into it, and they slip right in there. And then we attach it to the end here, and then that gives us a little adjustability. And this is the side that mounts the truck. So we're gonna get these tacked on and weld it out. All welded up. It's time to do the brackets that mount it to the truck. So these are the frame side. They're a little rusty, but that's alright. They're going to get coated. So those are already done. We had these already made. So those are going to be frame side, and then we're going to work on the axle side. So we got to weld 2 of these onto this plate, and this plate gets welded onto the end here, and this part mounts to the rear bushing. So once they're all together, it'll make sense. So let's go ahead and get these tacked up, and I'll show you what they look like. We are going to get these last parts welded in here. We just have to weld these in. They drop in from the back side, so we just have to make sure they're seated against that bottom plate. Tack them up, toss these little extra gussets in there, weld them out, and cut some overlays for the bars, and these are ready for customer pickup. So let's get these done and end up and out of here. Alrighty, so this kit is done and ready to roll. We got the rear axle mounts bolt on, frame mounts weld on. We got our bushings for the tail ends of these and our heim joints for the front ends. On these ones, we do use 7/8 inch by 3/4 inch joints with 5/8 inch grade 8 hardware. So we can bump these up to 1.25 inch heims if needed, but for traction bars you don't really need to go that big. If these were going to be like a rear 4-link replacement bar, then definitely we'd bump up to that size. But for your average truck traction bars, you don't need anything bigger than this. These will perform just well and suit the customer's needs. So these get sent out raw metal. If you do need them powder coated, we can get that, but it is additional. So I'll be tossing pictures of these up on the website, and you can pick what lengths you need and overlays. If you need custom overlays, email me. We can do custom designs on them, but for the most part, this is a standard design we go with. But yeah, I'll post some pictures and stuff online. So if you're interested in a set, I'll put the website down below. Other than that, have a great one. Thanks for watching.